Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It is Candy here from sweetstamper.com with your Facebook Live, not live, pre-recorded while I am in England visiting my son and his wife and my two youngest grandchildren. So I can guarantee you we're having a great time by the time you're watching this. And I will have shared some photos of our our visit to various places in England and also our grandchildren and my family. So I'll be sharing that with you. In the meantime, let's see what we're going to stamp today. I am keying in on this lovely stamp set called Uniquely Artistic. It is on page 114 of the annual Stampin' Up! Catalog. This just debuted earlier this month. And if you still need a copy of this annual catalog, please drop a comment below and I will be in touch with you on how to get one of these in the mail to you. It is absolutely essential to have an actual catalog, not just the online version. So this is a very artsy stamp set, and I don't know that I would have immediately gone for it, but I received this as a free gift as part of an online Stampin' Up! Convention I was part of, and I actually really like it. So, you know, sometimes you have to kind of warm up to something, and I think this is one of those stamp sets that you're going to find that with. So this is simple and stepped up stamping. And Thursdays, I normally do simple stamping, and there is a hashtag each month, hashtag simple stamping, that Stampin' Up! Uses, and they give us a challenge each month. And this month, it is Stamp Ink paper, any of your favorite end colors, which is hard to choose, and a thank you. So I pulled in Biggest Wish. I think that this these bold greetings, I'm not going to use these scripty ones. I'm going to use this bold greeting to pair with this very artsy designs here. So let's see what we come up with. And I'm going to grab, I have Stamp Ink and paper. Well, here's my paper. My stamps are right here, and I'm using two colors of ink that match my two colors of cardstock. And I'm using Orchid Oasis and Parakeet Party. So these are two of our new in colors. Stampin' Up! Releases for 2 years. Stampin' Up! Releases every year a set of 5 in colors that last for 2 years. I keep wanting to say they release 2 in colors. No, they release a 2-year set of 5 in colors. I can't seem to get my mouth around those numbers today. And they're super fun to use. And this year, I think they're some of the best in colors we've ever had. I absolutely adore them. So I have an 11 by 4 1/4 piece of cardstock. This is what we call a top fold. So if you're a newer stamper, this is just a half sheet of cardstock, and it's scored in the middle, and that's it. This is a 3 1/2 by 4 1/4 piece of basic white cardstock, and this is going to be my focal point. I'm going to use these two ink pads. I'm using Orchid Oasis and Parakeet Party. Let's start with Orchid Oasis, and I'm going to use just the outline of this stamp. Now, there is also a fill-in stamp, so that means you can ink up the fill-in stamp and totally fill in the flowers. I'm going to do that on my stepped up version, but for this first version, I wanted to just have these outlines. Aren't they beautiful? Very artsy looking, look like just a gorgeous piece of art. So I'm just inking up and stamping. Super, super simple. And the essence of simple stamping is Stamp Ink and paper, and that's what we're using. So before I close up my Orchid Oasis ink, I'm going to take this wee little piece of gray granite cardstock. You could use white, you could use you know, any other neutral color. I like this gray granite. I think it looks really good with this very purpley blue, and I'm just going to center that. I will give you the measurements in an inspiration sheet here. I'm going to put this, it's going to be my thank you greeting. Look how pretty. I like it. And now I don't need my Orchid Oasis ink anymore, but I do need my Parakeet Party. This is looking really pretty, but I want to put a little bit of greenery around my flowers. So I'm going to take this little guy here, just this little delicate leaf, and put it in between each of my sets of flowers, or not sets of flowers, in between each, yeah, I guess in between each pair of flowers. True. I think that's all I'm going to do, because then I'm going to pop that right in the middle. Doesn't that look good? I like it a lot. So I am going to do one other thing with my simple stamping card. I am going to use a little bit of Parakeet Party cardstock. And what I've done, before I stick this down, I have two little 4 1/4 by 1 inch pieces. Now I don't actually have, I'm not going to have a whole inch poking out. I'm just going to have a little bit. But I find that if you have an inch, it's easier to adhere than just a little skinny strip. So that's just me, but that's the way I roll with this. So I'm going to put a little bit of seal adhesive right along the two ends of my basic white cardstock. And whoops, sorry about that. A little bit loud on the seal flying over to my tabletop. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same thing here, and I'm just eyeing this. You know, if you wanted to line it up on your grid paper, you could. I'm a big fan of just eyeing it and going with it. Now I want the 2 at the top, not the 1 at the top. That's just kind of a personal preference. And once again, I'm going to put my seal all along here to make sure this stays down really well on my card front. So that is going to go like so. Aren't those bright, fresh, pretty colors? And then the only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. So let me find them. Here we go. So this is Stamps, Ink, and Paper, using 2 of our brand new in colors. If you are new to stamping, this is a fabulous, fabulous way to make a pretty card with any number of designs. And I think that this little uniquely artistic stamp set, now I could go that way, but I'll probably go this way. Well, let's live on the wild side and let's just angle it. I like it. There we go. There's my thank you card. Now I will put let me go grab a piece of basic white. A tip for you is I usually have a lot of these basic white panels. This is 5 1/4 by 4, because this is what I put inside any of my darker colored cardstock. I like to have this because it's a lot easier to write on. So what I'm going to do is, once again, I'm going to open up this Orchid Oasis cardstock, and I am going to ink up this pretty, pretty flower again. I'm going to stamp it off first, and then I'm going to put it right here. That's going to go on the inside of my card. Isn't that lovely? I think it's gorgeous. So now let me pop this inside, and this card is done and dusted, ready to go into my stash. And then I have a thank you card ready to go. Now our next card, we're going to do exactly the same, but we're going to step it up a little bit. So we're going to have some fun. And this, again, this is perfect for a brand new stamper, or if you have a lot of thank you cards to make. This is super affordable. Comes together in minutes and just super fun to make. I love the bright, fresh colors. Again, this is Orchid Oasis and Parakeet Party. So let's take the same elements again and let's step them up just a wee bit. So let's start here. Now, I noticed this when I cut this. This is actually a little bit of an imperfection, which every now and again you find on a piece of cardstock. I'm going to be covering that up, so I'm not too fussed. If I weren't going to be covering it up, I'd probably put it on the inside or something like that. So once again, I have my 3 1/2 by 4 1/4 piece of basic white cardstock, And once again, I'm going to start with my Orchid Oasis ink and this lovely, lovely flower. I'm going to put one up here, kind of towards the corner there, and then I'm going to take another one and bring it down here, just a little bit of an angle, and then down here towards the bottom. Now, I'm not going to step away from the flowers just yet. This time, I'm going to take this fill in stamp, and this is going to fill in my flower without coloring it. But what I'm going to do is, if I do the same color on top, you won't be able to see, you know, it's just going to be color on color. I'm going to stamp it off first, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to line it up. I guess it's upside down. There we go. I'm going to line it up with all the edges, and then boom. It's going to give just a soft, soft color of that Orchid Oasis. So you see the difference between the no color and adding color. Now, I could add a different color. I could maybe add a soft yellow or a soft pink, but I'm just doing tone on tone and keeping my color scheme really, really simple. But I think that it also makes the colors pop. You know, sometimes when you get too many colors going, your eye doesn't quite know where to land. Okay. So there, and you know what? I probably ought to do this before I move on. I am going to take the inside of my card, and once again, I'm going to put that outline flower right down at the bottom. Oh, and one more thing before I close up, I have the same little piece of gray granite cardstock, and I'm going to ink it up with this bold thanks. And there we go. And that is kind of pretty much what I did the first time, but wait, there's more. Wait till you see how we're going to step it up just a little bit. So let's bring in our Parakeet Party ink. We need to have some of these green leaves again. I think it adds a nice touch of bright freshness, and that's what I think you'll find over and over again when you use this Parakeet Party. You know, I fell in love with Parakeet Party the very first time I saw it. I love every shade of lime green that was ever made. Absolutely love it. So I did add a second set of leaves there. But that's not really stepping up. Stepping up is adding elements. So that's what we're going to do next. So what I've done is I have taken my 4 1/4 by 1 inch strips, and I've run them through my die cutting machine, my cut and emboss machine. This is one of the bundles that is in our our spring mini catalog. It's only available through the end of June, and I love, love, love this die is one of my favorites. So this gives you a jagged edge, and it also gives you that little stitching. And I thought that would be a really nice little extra on this card. So let's add that to the top and bottom of my basic white piece. Again, this is 3.5 by 4 1/4. And once again, I'm just going to put that down like so on my work surface. Boom, done. But look how finished that looks. Isn't that lovely? I love that stitching on there. You see how that steps it up? So here's my original, here's my simple, and here's my stepped up. You can see what a difference that stitching makes. I mean, it's really gorgeous. So you are going to want to grab that set of dies. Now, I will say, I wouldn't buy this set of dies just for that, but I think that if you like those beautiful, beautiful tropical images, it's a great suite to use, and I've used the heck out of it and done a lot of things on Facebook Live with it. So you can see my other videos with it. Okay, that's coming together ever so nicely. Now I am going to add this, and I think I might keep it straight this time instead of angling it. Maybe we'll angle it, that way we have a side-by-side comparison. And then I'm not going to add any ribbon, I'm going to add some little embellishments. So my stepping up for this card is with the stitched dies, and again, that is from the Artfully Layered. And then I'm also going to add some of these little things, these fun flower resin shapes. So these are in our new catalog. Let me grab my take a pick tool. I was tidying up. Now I have several options here. I could take these Parakeet Party. Now they're kind of getting lost. So let's see what other options I have here. Ooh, I could even bring in some purple. I think of this one. Oh, that looks really nice. Or I could, I think I'm gonna sprinkle them. Should I sprinkle? Let's see, I could go with the Orchid Oasis, or I could go with, yeah, the Orchid Oasis is going to pop a little bit more. So I think I'm going to add one large one and then a small one here. Let's see. Can we get one in this? Thanks. Probably not, because it's really kind of hugging. Oh, let's see. Oh, I kind of like that. And then one more. So the rule of thumb is you want to use an uneven number. Where'd it go? I've lost it. Oh, it's on top of the other one. You want to use an uneven number of embellishments, and I think I might just go like that. Or I could go like that. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. So these are the new Fun Flower resin shapes. You're going to want to get these. Look at those gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Super fun to use. And let me add this to the inside. There is my basic white piece. And that is simple and stepped up stamping, done and dusted. Hashtag simple stamping for May is, in order to do the Stampin' Up challenge, is a thank you card using stamps, ink, and paper, and one of the in colors that you love. And let's see, stamps, ink, and paper, in color, and thank you. So there we go. Let me get this out of the way because I've got all of that ink there. Let me give you the finale with simple and stepped up stamping. Once again, we were using, let me find it, Uniquely Artistic, one of our new stamp sets in the brand new annual Stampin' Up catalog. And I featured Parakeet Party and Orchid Oasis. I also have to remind you that while I'm in England, I'm running this special for you. And when you place a minimum $50 order with my host code right here, you will get a mystery box that's shipped out to you on the 30th of May. Now, my mystery boxes have at least a stamp set, some cardstock, and some designer paper. And that's even for a $50 order. When your orders go up, the value of your box goes way up. Now, these are all new or gently used stamp sets, and they are retired because that's the way we do with Stampin' Up. We can't be doing these kind of boxes with brand new product. And then I also have tucked into some of these extra things. I'm going to be adding in some card kits. I've got some classes, full-on classes for you. I have some little 3D projects. I have some embellishments, some ribbons, all kinds of fun little extras, and that's going to be part of the surprise. My aim is to surprise and delight you. So when you get your mystery box, you are going to be wowed. You're going to feel very much pampered and like you got something amazing in the mail, like a little box of Christmas in the middle of summer. Well, not in the middle, right as summer's beginning in June, because the boxes will ship out on May 30th. You'll get them probably early June. Thank you so much again for tuning in. I really appreciate your viewership. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you are on Facebook, please, please heart my video and be sure to follow my page so that you see all of my videos. Again, I come to you every Tuesday, every Thursday at 4 p.m. Central, right here at facebook.com/sweetstamper. Thanks so much again for tuning in. Take care and God bless.